Hello everyone and welcome back to another exciting English lesson. I'm your friend Teacher Sam, and today we're embarking on a journey to conquer the art of crafting exceptional English sentences. We're going beyond the textbooks and diving straight into the practical stuff. We're talking about the secrets, the tips, the tricks that will help you break free from those frustrating moments when the words just don't seem to fit together. So, if you're ready to transform your English from good to absolutely brilliant, buckle up because we're about to unlock a whole new level of language mastery. Let's be real for a second, alright? We've all been there. You've been studying English for years, you know your nouns from your verbs, your adjectives from your adverbs. But when it comes to actually stringing those words together into a coherent, natural-sounding sentence, crickets. It's like you've got all the ingredients for a gourmet meal, but you end up burning the toast. It's beyond frustrating. You understand the individual components, but the bigger picture, the art of crafting a truly beautiful sentence, remains elusive. Because let's face it, sentences are the backbone of any language. They're the vehicles that carry our thoughts, ideas, and stories. A poorly constructed sentence can derail an entire conversation, leaving your listener confused and, let's be honest, a little bit unimpressed. Sometimes it's the fear of making mistakes, the dreaded grammar police lurking in the shadows of our minds. But fear not, my fellow English enthusiasts, because I'm here to tell you that the struggle is not insurmountable. With a little guidance, a sprinkle of practice, and a whole lot of enthusiasm, you too can master the art of constructing sentences that would make Shakespeare himself proud. So stick with me, and together we'll conquer the world one sentence at a time. Alright, my linguistic detectives, it's time to put on our Sherlock Holmes hats and grab our magnifying glasses because we're about to dive into the fascinating world of sentence autopsies. Now, what do I mean by sentence autopsies? It's simple, really. We're going to dissect those troublesome sentences, those linguistic puzzles that have been causing you grief, and we're going to figure out exactly what makes them tick. Or rather, what makes them not tick. First, we need to identify the suspects. Is it a case of misplaced modifiers? Those sneaky little devils can really wreak havoc on a sentence if you're not careful. Remember that time you told your friend you saw a dog running down the street in your pajamas? Yeah, we've all been there. Or perhaps the culprit is a dangling participle, left hanging precariously without a subject to cling to. These grammatical gremlins can lead to some truly hilarious misunderstandings. Picture this. Walking down the street, the Eiffel Tower soared majestically above me. Unless you've suddenly developed the ability to walk on air, I think we have a dangling participle on our hands. But wait, there's more. Our sentence might be suffering from a severe case of subject-verb disagreement, where the verb is stubbornly refusing to cooperate with its subject. And let's not forget about the importance of parallel structure. This is where things can get really interesting. By carefully examining these common grammatical errors, we can begin to understand why they occur, and more importantly, how to avoid them in our own writing and speaking. Okay, so we've identified the problem, we've performed our sentence autopsies, and we've emerged from the operating room feeling confident and ready to conquer the world of English grammar. But hold on a minute, my eager learners, our work here is far from over. Because here's the thing about language learning, it's a marathon, not a sprint. You can't just cram a bunch of grammar rules into your brain the night before a big presentation and expect to speak like a native English speaker. It takes time, it takes effort, and most importantly, it takes consistent practice. Think about it this way. You wouldn't expect to become a world-class athlete by just reading books about sports, would you? No, you'd need to get out there on the field, put in the hours of training and push yourself to your limits. And the same goes for language learning. Now, I know what you're thinking. Practice. But practice is boring. And you know what? You're right. Practice can be boring, but it doesn't have to be. There are tons of fun and engaging ways to incorporate English practice into your daily routine. One of my favorite ways to practice is by simply talking to myself. I know, it sounds a little crazy, but trust me on this one. Find a quiet place, maybe it's your bedroom, maybe it's a deserted park, and just start talking. The point is to get those words flowing, to get comfortable with the sound of your own voice speaking English. Alright, my fellow English enthusiasts, it's time to take our sentence construction skills to the next level. We've covered the basics, and now, we're ready to unleash our inner wordsmiths upon the world. How do we go from crafting simple sentences to weaving words that captivate and inspire? That's where the magic of language truly comes alive. Enhance your sentences by expanding your vocabulary. Think of words as the building blocks of language. Seek out those rare gems that add richness and depth. Instead of saying happy, try ebullient or exuberant. Experiment with sentence structure. Break free from the traditional subject-verb-object mold. And don't forget the importance of punctuation. A well-placed comma can provide clarity, while an em-dash can add drama. Alright, my sentence-slinging superheroes, it's time to put all that we've learned into practice. We've dissected sentences, we've expanded our vocabularies, we've experimented with sentence structure, and now we're ready to unleash our newfound language skills upon the world. But before we dive into the wonderful world of examples and exercises, let's take a moment to recap some of the key takeaways from our journey together. First and foremost, remember that grammar is your friend, not your enemy. It's not about memorizing a bunch of arbitrary rules. It's about understanding how language works, and using that knowledge to express yourself clearly and effectively. Second, embrace the power of practice. The more you write and speak in English, the more natural and effortless it will become. Don't be afraid to make mistakes, that's how we learn and grow. Third, expand your vocabulary. The more words you know, the more creative and expressive you can be in your writing and speaking. So go forth, my linguistic adventurers, and devour those dictionaries. Fourth, experiment with sentence structure. Don't be afraid to break free from the traditional subject-verb-object mold and try something a little more adventurous. Play around with different sentence types, incorporate dependent clauses, and use transitions to create smooth and logical connections between ideas. And finally, read, read, read. The more you expose yourself to different writing styles, the more you'll develop an intuitive sense of what makes a sentence sing. Now, let's put our newfound knowledge to the test. In the comments section below, I want you to write a sentence using one of the new vocabulary words you've learned. Congratulations, my fellow English enthusiasts. You've reached the end of our epic sentence-building adventure. I hope you've enjoyed this journey as much as I have and that you're feeling empowered to take your English skills to the next level. Remember, the ability to communicate effectively is a powerful tool, one that can open doors to new opportunities, relationships, and experiences. By mastering the art of crafting clear, concise, and engaging sentences, you'll be well on your way to achieving your language learning goals. So keep practicing, keep experimenting, and most importantly, keep believing in yourself. I can't wait to see all the amazing things you'll accomplish with your newfound language skills. Now go forth and conquer the world, one sentence at a time. And don't forget to share your secrets for sentence success and the challenges you face in the comments below.